All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to explore a really simple idea, but one that's surprisingly hard to follow. The principle is this: treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Now, I know, it sounds almost too obvious, right? But as we're about to see, it's something most of us are, well, pretty bad at. And the reason why reveals something huge about the very nature of reality. So, to really get to the bottom of this, we have to start with this strange, kind of startling paradox from the world of medicine. It's a question that drives doctors and pharmacists absolutely crazy. Why won't people just take their medication? I mean, don't they want to get better? The answer, it turns out, is way more complicated than just forgetting. And when you look at the numbers, it's actually kind of shocking. For every 100 prescriptions a doctor writes, a full third of people won't even go fill it at the pharmacy. A whole third! Then, of the people who do get the medicine, half of them will take it incorrectly. They'll skip doses or they'll just stop taking it way too early. So that leaves only about one-third of patients who actually follow the doctor's orders. That is a massive level of non-compliance. Okay, but get this. This is where it gets really weird. Let's say it's not you who's sick. It's your dog. You take him to the vet gives you a prescription. What do? Well, it turns out people are way, way better at giving medication to their pets than they are to themselves. We treat our animals with this incredible diligence that we just don't seem to have for our own well-being. So what is going on here? I mean, what does this say about us? Why do we seem to value our pets' health more than our own? It's like there's some kind of deep-seated self-contempt, a failure to believe we're worthy of the same care we'd give to literally anyone or anything else. This is the central mystery we're going to try to solve today. So how do we even begin to explain something like that? Our modern scientific way of looking at things doesn't really have a good answer. To find one, we actually have to step back, way back, and look at the world through a much older lens. One that didn't see the world as a place of objective matter, but as a drama of what truly matters. You see, before modern science, people didn't experience the world as a bunch of atoms or molecules. To them, the world was a story, a stage, a drama. Their main concern wasn't some objective, detached truth. It was survival. It was meaning. Reality wasn't a collection of things. It was the raw, subjective experience of being hungry or scared or hopeful or in pain. And this quote right here, wow, it just perfectly sums up this whole worldview. I mean, think about it. Your own pain is a truth that is so real, no logical argument can talk you out of it. We all act as if our pain is real, like the most real thing there is. From this ancient perspective, our subjective experience isn't some fuzzy distraction from reality. It is the most fundamental reality we know. Okay, so if the world we experience is a drama, what's it made of? What are its basic elements? Well, this ancient perspective suggests it's not atoms or quarks, but two huge primal forces that define everything we live through: chaos and order. Let's break this down. Order is the world we know. It's structure, society, the familiar comfort of your home, the path you walk every day. It's security. It's the known. And chaos? Well, chaos is the exact opposite. It's the great unknown. It's unexplored territory, a sudden crisis, the stranger you meet. It's where everything can fall apart, but it's also the source of every single new thing. It's potential, it's creativity, it's freedom. Now, in the language of old stories and myths, order often gets this masculine symbol. Think about it: hierarchy, structure, society, tradition, the known world. It's the builder, the king, the lawgiver, the God the Father archetype that creates structure and predictability. And on the flip side, you have chaos, which is symbolically feminine. And why is that? Because the unknown is the womb where all known things are born. Chaos is nature herself, both creative and destructive. It is possibility, it's mystery, it's the realm of birth. In fact, the word mater in Latin is the root for both mother and matter, the source of everything. And this image here really captures that feeling, doesn't it? That feeling of being human, standing right in front of these two gigantic forces. We're always negotiating this duality, the safe little world we've built for ourselves and the vast, chaotic, and terrifying unknown that surrounds it. That's our lived experience. Okay, so ancient maps, order and chaos. What in the world does this have to do with taking your pills? Well, here's the kicker. This ancient map of reality doesn't just describe the world, it's an instruction manual. It shows you how to navigate it. It shows you the path to actually helping yourself. Ancient traditions, especially Taoism, talk about this path. They call it the way. And the key thing to understand is that it's not about choosing a side. You don't pick order or chaos. The way is the razor's edge, that narrow, difficult border right between them. That is the path of a proper, meaningful life. Think about when you feel most engaged in life. That feeling when time just melts away and what you're doing feels incredibly important. In those moments, you are perfectly balanced on that border. You have just enough order, enough competence to feel secure, but you're also challenged by just enough chaos, enough mystery to keep you on your toes and growing. That's the zone. That's where meaning lives. And this quote right here, this is the practical advice. This is the how-to. To live a life that feels meaningful, you have to constantly be straddling this line. You keep one foot planted firmly in the safety of what you already know and have mastered, and you place the other foot carefully into the unknown territory you're trying to figure out. That tension right there, that's the sweet spot. And that brings us all the way back to the beginning. Why should you care for yourself? Why take your damn pills? Because you are the one who has to walk that line. You are the conscious being standing between order and chaos. So to not care for yourself, to let yourself fall apart, is to give up on that incredible responsibility. It's abandoning the difficult, necessary, and ultimately meaningful job of living a proper life. So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. Looking at your own life, right now, where are you standing? Are you maybe a little too comfortable? Maybe trapped in an order that's become rigid and boring? Or are you totally overwhelmed by chaos, feeling like you have no ground to stand on? Finding that balance, that's the path. That's how you help yourself.